Want to turn a thrifted heart pendant into a trendy pearl necklace? Forget those classic understated pearls, because in 2025, pearls make a statement, and this necklace will help you do just that. Hello, welcome to The Stylish Maker. My name's Carol. One of the big trends of 2025, if you didn't see my trends episode, I'll leave it linked in the description box below, is pearls. The way we are wearing pearls in 2025 has changed though. In the last few years, pearls have been very classic and understated. This year, pearls have become the statement. I found this heart pendant in a thrift store and I thought I could do something exciting with it. It needs a clean, but all of the rhinestones appear to be there. Even the bail is in good condition. It didn't have a chain or a cord attached. Today I'm going to use it to make a statement pearl necklace. The first thing I'm going to do is give the heart a good clean, and I have my polishing cloth here. This is a silver polishing cloth, and I'm just going to give it a good clean just to remove all that tarnish. These polishing cloths are really good. There are other ways to clean a piece of silver, but these are quite good. They work quite well. So there is my pendant. It does have a little bit of wear on it, but generally it looks okay, and I think it's absolutely acceptable to use. As well as my pendant, I am going to need some pearls because we're making a pearl necklace, and I have here some 12mm glass pearls. I don't know how many I'm going to need yet because I don't know how long the necklace is going to be. As well as my pearls, I'm going to be using a 17mm lobster clasp and an 8mm soldered jump ring. Now I'm using a 17mm lobster clasp just because the necklace is going to be quite a sturdy necklace, and I think a 12mm might look a little lost on there. And of course, if you watched my cocktail pearl choker, you will know that I always attach my clasp with a jump ring, simply because if you ever need to replace the clasp, it's much easier to remove it using a jump ring. You won't have to restring. If you want to watch that tutorial, I'll leave it linked down below. So I've got my jump ring and my other jump ring. That's an 8mm, this is a 6, and I've got 2 crimp tubes. I am going to be using my magical crimping plier. I'm also going to be using 2 pairs of chain nose pliers and my flush cutters. Oh, we also need some tiger tail, something to string it on. I'm going to be using a 0.38mm tiger tail in the colour silver grey. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut quite a long piece of my tiger tail, probably about 50 centimetres, just simply because I like to leave myself lots of room just in case. So just taking my cutters and I'm going to cut that off. As well as the tools, I'm going to be using a bead stopper just to hold my beads on so that they don't fall off. This is just like a giant spring. You use the handles to open it and pop it on there, and it holds nice and firmly. I'm going to start off by putting on my heart. Before you do that, you want to make sure that your bail is nice and firm, or nice and tight. You don't want any gaps here so that your tiger tail can come out. But mine looks like it's nice and closed, so I can pop on my bail. Just threading it onto my tiger tail, just like that. Now I'm going to thread some pearls on, and I haven't decided how long this is going to be, so I'm going to start with maybe 10 on each side. Now if this necklace is too big and bold for you, you could use a smaller heart pendant and smaller pearls. And obviously I'm not going to be able to share a link for this exact heart because I have no idea where it came from, probably from a pre-made necklace, but I will try and find something similar and link that down below. This is a good time to ask you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and boot the thumbs up. And also, if you are already subscribed and you're not receiving notifications from YouTube, it might be a good idea to subscribe to my newsletter, and that way I can email you every single time I upload a new video and you'll never miss anything. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, 12 will do. All right, I'm going to take the bead stopper off one end and pop it back on the other end. And then I'm going to thread 12 beads onto this side. Before I start, I've got a little bend in my tiger tail there, and that's going to cause me issues. So I will just chop it off. So we'll pop 10, 12 beads on this side as well. If you've never strung a necklace before, this is quite a good one for you to begin on. Now, I will also leave you a link in the description box for the tutorial for this necklace. In this tutorial, I showed you how to string a basic necklace. So all of the tips and tricks are in this video, and I'll leave that linked below. All right, now I have strung my 12 pearls on either side, and I'm going to have a look and see how long it is, whether it's too long, too short, etc. I think it's probably too short, but let's have a look. Oh yes, it's way too short. So let me feel. I probably need another 3 beads on either side. So I'm going to pop 3 on. Move my bead stopper to the other side and pop 3 on this side as well. Now the reason I'm doing this from the center out is simply because I just didn't know how long I wanted it. So if I'd known how long I wanted my necklace, I could have strung from one side to the other. Okay, so now I've got my 15 beads on either side. Let's have a look. I'm just going to hold it right close to the beads there and pop it around my neck. So I have a little bit of a dilemma. So it's too short, and if I add 2 more beads it's going to be too long, and of course I don't want to add 1 bead on only one side because then it won't hang in the center. But if I think about the fact that my clasp is 17 millimeters and my jump ring is 8 millimeters, and I've also got another 6 millimeter jump ring in there, that adds probably about 2 centimeters. So I think it's going to be okay. So I think we'll go with it and see what it looks like at the end. Now I do need to check that I have the required 15 on either side, and I can do that simply by holding it like this. So I put my heart pendant on one end and I just double check that everything is the same on this side, which it is, so that's good. Now we're going to put our clasp on this side. And first, before we do that though, I want to add my jump ring to my clasp, because we don't thread tiger tail through our clasp, because if disaster happens, we have to completely restring. So taking my clasp and my 6 millimeter jump ring, I'm going to take my 2 pairs of chain nose pliers and open my jump ring. Now if you haven't used jump rings before, I will leave you a link to a video all about how to use jump rings in the description box below. So I'm going to hold it on the side, and I've got my split at the top there, so holding it right along the side of the jump ring, and I'm going to hold it on this side as well. Just twist one hand down so that my jump ring is now open. Then I'm going to pop on my clasp, and I'm going to reverse that process to close it. And I want to double check that it's all nicely closed so that my tiger tail isn't going to come out. Now it just could be a fraction closer, so I'm going to lift it up again and pushing my right hand plier towards my left one, just close it again. And there's my clasp with its jump ring attached. Next we're going to put that onto our necklace. So we're going to take a crimp tube, and these are a 2 millimeter crimp tube, and I'm going to feed that on. And I like to go fishing with my crimp tube rather than trying to poke it on the end, it's just easier. And then I'm going to put on my jump ring. Then I come back down, making sure that my jump ring is between my fingers on this side and my fingers on this side, which is holding the crimp tube. And I'm going to come back down through the crimp tube. And what that does is it traps that jump ring inside the loop of the tiger tail. Now I'm going to take my magical crimping plier and give it a squeeze. Now if you don't have a magical crimping plier, you could use any other form of crimping, and I can leave you a link in the description box for a video on 3 different ways to crimp. If you have a magical crimper and you have trouble with it, I have a video on troubleshooting as well, because so many people say to me, I can't make it work. And it is actually quite easy once you know the tricks. There's my clasp attached, and as you can see, that crimp tube just looks like a little round bead, and that's what we want. And we want to test, make sure that it's nice and secure as well. Now I'm going to squeeze the 2 pieces of tiger tail together and run 1 bead up over that tail. And then I'm going to move my main piece out of the way, and I'm going to trim that tiger tail at about 4 millimeters. And the reason I left that tail is so that this next bead will go up over it and the tail will be hidden in the center of that bead. That's the way I like to do it. Some people don't do that. Some people chop their tiger tail off at the crimp, and you can do that as well, but I like to hide it. It just makes it neater, I think. If you would like to make the earrings that I'm wearing today, I'll leave you a link for this tutorial as well in the description box below. Now we're going to put on the next one. So we take our crimp tube and pop that on. And then we take our jump ring. As I said, this is a soldered jump ring. You don't need to use a soldered jump ring for this if you didn't want to, or if you didn't have one. I just used it because it was a thicker gauge and it seemed to work well with what I was doing. So just feeding your tiger tail back down through the crimp tube again, trapping that jump ring in the loop. And then I am going to go down through the first bead. Now I want to pull everything up. And sometimes you will find that it gets stuck. It's not going to today because I wanted to demo it. But if it does get stuck, what you do is just pull your crimp tube back up towards the jump ring and it will unstuck itself, or sometimes it's actually a matter of pulling it the other way. I need to make sure I don't have any gaps. So if I move everything up, I've got a little bit of a gap, so I need to move everything down a little bit more. So pulling, now it's stuck. Now I don't want it to be. Sometimes it does get stuck and you can't pull it. So if that happens, you can actually pull the tiger tail at the loop there and that will fix it. Now you don't want it to be too tight. You still want your necklace to be able to move. There's nothing worse than having a really tight necklace that's kind of stiff. So now I've got everything in place. I'm going to take my magical crimping plier and give it a squeeze. And a turn, and a squeeze and a turn until it looks like a nice round little bead. And more importantly, it's all nice and secure, which it's not. So I'm going to give it a few more squeezes. Now that I've done that, I want to cut off my tail, and you can see I've got a little bit of a gap between my beads there, and there's my tail coming out. Now I can't make it go inside this bead. If I did, it would just poke out. So I am going to come in here really close to this bead, and I'm going to cut off my tail, make sure it's the tail, because what will happen is when this bead moves down, as it does with gravity, it will be hidden inside this one. Before I try it on, if you are enjoying this project and you would like to support me to bring you more videos here on YouTube, then I'd like you to consider joining my membership. So there it is on. Is it too short, do you think, or could it have been a little bit longer? I actually really like it. I can understand if you would like to add a couple more beads to it and have it sitting a little bit lower. It's a personal preference thing, and this is the thing with making our own jewelry. We can make it to our personal preference. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon.